to the weekly conference call of the National Black Unity News, where we are promoting unity in our community and helping keep the dream alive. Hi, I'm Fran Allen, the National Editor of Self-Development for the National Black Unity News and the facilitator of tonight's call. Tonight, our speaker will be none other than Ms. Jaye Walker, who is the National Black Unity News Marketing Director, and she will be addressing how to broaden our business exposure nationally.
All right. So thank you, Fran. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Today I'm not going to keep anybody really long. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We are going into the holiday season, and we've been coming to you each week with new updates on our Vision 2020 campaign. So we rolled out this huge rebranding and marketing campaign back in September, and we've been just kind of dripping out different resources for everyone to use, different tools for you guys to be successful. We introduced the Ambassadors Program, which is a great opportunity for anyone to come into the National Black Unity News, tell the good story, tell of what we're doing, let them know the benefits of being involved in the publication and the paper, from being an editor to earning money just by sharing the opportunity. But all of this is really surrounded by one thing, which is the National Black Unity News is now going national. And so when I came on board, Baltimore, Maryland has been the basis of the paper, and over 2 years now, well, going into 2 years, the publication has been a success. So Mr. Murphy and the entire team, the editors and everyone, have put together quarterly papers, so it comes out every 3 months. And to me, when I came on board, that was such a, it's a unique idea, but as a business owner, which I am, that was such a great value for me to hear that I can have visibility for 3 full months. And then I learned about the pricing, and I was like, this is the best deal in town. And then I learned about the audience, the readers, which are my audience. It's business individuals who need additional help in their organizations. And so there were so many things I had to come on board. And so, again, as I said, our initiative now is to go national. We're trying to get national exposure. And more than that, we're trying to get people to take action. And really everything will go off in January of 2020, which is done by design because, again, the name of the campaign is Vision 2020. You know, what is your vision for a publication like this? How do you see yourself fitting into a publication like this? And so for those that are on the line now and those that will be listening later, we set up a brand new website, which is tnbun.com. And it has all the information about the initiative, about the programs that we have, about the different ways that you can share and earn, and so much more. So we definitely encourage you to take a look at that and ask us if you have any questions. But a little bit about my background. Again, my name is Jacinta, but everybody calls me Jaye Walker. And I'm the owner of a business called LifeWorks, where we go into businesses and we help to make things more proficient and do marketing campaigns and branding and things like that. And with over 20 years of experience now, I've been in so many different businesses that I love doing this work. One of the biggest things during my 20 years, I joined a network marketing company. And I only mention that because a lot of people have been a part of networking, network marketing. And this is not a network marketing company, but the things that I learned through that process, and I was with one for about 2.5 years, was so valuable because they were going international and doing total, really global expansion. And so I want to bring to you some of the things that I've learned from that business, and that was a product that was really hard to sell. This product that we have in front of us is not a hard sell. It is something that everybody wants to get behind. I always talk about hashtags, so we see the hashtags all the time of support black businesses and black enterprise, and there's just so many. So we don't have a hard sell. Matter of fact, we're not selling. We're sharing some information that people need to know. And so a couple of the things that I learned, well, one of the biggest one is the leverage of people. So leveraging people and their time. And so me as being one person, I can put out so many different things, from social media posts to talking to my friends to talking to current clients that I have. But the thing comes in when we talk to people and we ask them to share on our behalf, and we get them excited. So I can be excited all day, but when I can multiply my efforts with someone else's, it really, really makes a difference. And remember, our task is really to go from Baltimore and the surrounding areas to all of the United States. And that is a big task, but it's very doable. Companies have done it all the time, and we need to do it in a quick manner because we have our assets like our directory. Our directory, our goal is to get at least 100, a minimum of 100 businesses, different businesses in every state, which is not a lot. But if we can do 100, that means we can do 2. And if we can do 200, we can do 4, and multiply it expeditionally from there. I want you to understand that by connecting a business, or just by going into the directory, you are now able or allowing potential clients to find you. Because how many times have we heard, oh, okay, well, now we're going to, let's say, boycott Starbucks. And then everyone goes into this whole binge of, okay, well, we need to find some black coffee companies to support. And there is a lot of them, coffee and tea and other type of drinks. But we don't know where they are. That's always the problem. We don't know where to find them. And just because that type of incident happened, that's how we end up finding them, because then people will start to post and say, hey, there's one here in this area, there's Delaware, and there's California, but they're all over the place. And so that is the power of our directory. And by using the power of leverage, leveraging people, leveraging their contacts and their networks, leveraging the fact that now they are excited because they understand the power of what we have, is a powerful thing. And think of how it just continues to multiply over and over and over and over again. Because I don't just have one friend, I have a ton of friends. And I don't just have one client, I have a lot of clients. And those clients have a lot of friends and more clients and more associates. And it goes on and on from there. So that's the first thing. Leverage your contacts. Leverage your community. Leverage the people that you talk to. Then that also ties into, of course, word of mouth. The best, and I'm in marketing, so the number one rule that we learned is the best sale that you can get is referrals, right? Because that means they heard about you, so now they want to come to you to get that same service or better. And so when you can get word of mouth, when you can get people that talk on your behalf, one, that's the best type of sale you can get because you didn't pay anything for that marketing, right? And then two, they're excited on their own. There's no type of persuasion you have to do. Of course, we want to give people the benefits of what they're getting into, but they are already sold. And that means, again, they're going to pass that excitement on to the next person that they speak to. And anytime they hear anything that's pertinent to marketing and advertising and earning, they'll think about the National Black Unity News. The third thing I learned from network marketing is working in groups and teams. And so the good thing about what this setup is is we are looking for businesses, a minimum of 100 in every state. And so
my name is Dr. Bender.
So at least we have 50 different teams just with that. But of course, in every state, we've got different municipalities, we've got different cities, we've got different counties. And so when we really get to the point where we can start to have teams, and I know currently we have obviously some in Baltimore, we have one in North Carolina, that is the best thing, because now you can go to these people and you can have this group that is there to support one another. When you're introducing a new product or a new service or just yourself or anything, people don't automatically jump on board. And so to have a group of people that will help you through the ups and downs. We have, Mr. Murphy has been running the Facebook page, and I always tell people when I advise them on social media that you just continue to put your message out there. Just continue to do it. And they may not like the post, they may not share the post, they may not engage or write a comment, but people are always watching. And they want to see that you're consistent, they want to see that you're excited, and they want to see that you really have something. You put 1 or 2 posts on your personal page about this, or share one, it really doesn't do much, because the statistic is it takes 7 to 11 exposures, different exposures of seeing that same product or service in order for people to take action. And that's what we want them to do, take action. We want them to get a subscription. We want them to share the information, get a directory listing, or buy an advertisement. So that's the importance of working in teams, so you have a good group of people that have your back. And then team meetings, like we're having tonight. This is so important. We may have, our numbers are up and down, especially during the holiday season, so that's understandable. But to have consistent team meetings, and we talk about things like testimonials, and we do things like team building, and discuss the highs and the lows, and training are very important. And so what we're doing now, and the fact that you're on tonight, and for those that will listen to the recording later, this is a good thing for us to continue to move forward and get our national exposure. And testimonials, which I just kind of mentioned. Testimonials are amazing. And when you can actually show people and tell them a story about how you've been successful or how you're working through, it just makes a total difference in people's minds, because we can spew out the amazing benefits that we have all day. But to tell people a story so it resonates with them, it just takes it to a whole nother level. And so my quick story, again, I told you how I started with the National Black Unity News, and I had a chance encounter with Mr. Murphy and Mr. Gooden, and I followed up with them, and the rest is history. But I said, let me take advantage of this opportunity for myself. And so my quick story is, this was easier than I could ever imagine. I went to an event, and I went around to all the vendor tables like I always do. I'm an introvert, but for somehow I can go up and talk to anybody at any time. And I was asking them about their products. I met an author. He told me about his book, which was very interesting. And what caught my eye was his cover. It was very vibrant. And so I asked him about it. He told me all these amazing stories about growing up in the Jim Crow in the 60s, and his military background. Anyway, I collected probably like 7 different cards. The deadline was coming up for our last issue of 2019, and I reached out to pretty much everybody I knew. I sent them a tailored email, and he responded, this gentleman. And so I went on, and this was me not knowing everything about it, but I was confident enough that if I didn't know anything or didn't know how to answer a question, I would go back to my mentor, which was Mr. Murphy, and ask him any questions that I had so I could make sure that I had the correct information. Long story short, after I told him the major benefits, which is you get 3 months exposure, this is the price, so your actual investment is really this, because you can divide it by 3 months. This is our coverage area, and then I also talked to him about the fact that it was going to be in our promotional edition because we were getting ready to do the launch for 2020. And so after I went through all of that, he was like, yeah, I'll do it. So he said he would do either a full page or a half page, and we ended up with a half page. All of that happened in the matter of 3 days, and not 3 full days. I only had a few conversations with him, but I met him on a Saturday, and we put the ad in, I think, on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And so it was really simple for me, and the best part about it was I was doing what I always do, which is sharing information. I had resources, I shared it with him, and I happened to get paid very well for it. And so this machine that we have really works, and it works better with more individuals in it. The last thing I want to say, and this is, again, all relating to how we're going to continue to push forward because we are going into national expansion, which means we need everybody. We need everyone to speak on the National Black Unity News behalf. All the information is on the website. We also have other resources, so if you have any questions, you can email tnbun2020@gmail.com, and that email is set up and dedicated just for this campaign. And I was doing my morning reading, so I do my meditation in my prayer closet, and I ran across 2 things. I knew I was doing this presentation today, so I just want to share these 2 things. And this one was in Ecclesiastes 4, chapter 9 through 10. And it says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him. And so the one thing that grabbed me about this company, this opportunity, this news publication, was the team effort and the love. And it's not about just the money, but it's about the fact that we have a vehicle where we can connect our community through Black businesses, and Black businesses will connect through our families. It's so many, the potential reach for this, not even potential, but the reach for this, because it will happen, is that it has so much just grasp for the Black community. It will bring us together. It will also help us to understand one another and support one another. And when I say support us financially. The money that goes into our communities can circulate within our communities and help so many different areas. And so we're looking for the organizations, the businesses, so many different people out there that are doing things for their community, and now you can be recognized for it. And then the second one was in Ecclesiastes 7, verse 8. And this one is, I never knew it was in the Bible, but I was glad to see it this morning because I always use it as a business resource for myself. But it says, the end of a thing is better than its beginning. The patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. And so in the business world, we say, I forgot whose book it was in, but the quote is, begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. So meaning we have to look at what our final destination is, which is never really our final destination. So we should be looking at what the results we want. I just explained to you and put out there, if you've never heard it before, we want to try to get at least 100 new businesses in our directory in every state. Now, we know that there's more than 100, so naturally that will continue to compound. But just think, if we could get 100 in every state, what that will do. Right here in Maryland, I mean, that's been the basis of the paper for the last 2 years and for all the publications that have come. But I'm hoping that everyone will look at this opportunity and see what your end result, see what your end game, see what your hopes are for this opportunity for yourself, and then also for the community that you serve. We have doctors and lawyers and artists and dancers and chefs and all types of people, writers, everybody. And so what do you see this opportunity to do for your business community, for your family, for people, and we all have family all over the place. But what do you believe that this opportunity can do for at least your reach? Because your reach is so far. It's not just right here in our homes, but it's all over the country. And when we say country, I always think global, because everything is on the internet, which would mean that we have a far more reaching effect than just, like I said, right here in our own homes and in our own businesses and in our own backyard. So again, I didn't want to keep you long, but those are the things that I learned dealing with network marketing. And I believe those lessons have helped me to become a better speaker and a mentor and a visionary, because that's what this is going to take. It's not going to happen overnight, but we do want it to take off fairly quickly, because we want this to be a trusted and a well-known resource for the Black community across the country and, as I said, across the world. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over, unless anyone has any questions.
Hi, I'm Fran Allen. Like you, I'm a leader, motivator, teacher, and confidant. I'm also a personal and professional development expert who guides people desiring to unleash innovative approaches to their personal growth. I'm genuine and no nonsense in delivery, with a bit of humor to meet people where they are. For more than 20 years, I've used my experience to motivate and encourage people, and I'll do the same for you. I've trained and coached in the military, corporate, government, and academic sectors. I earned a bachelor's degree in business management from Johns Hopkins University, served honorably in the United States Marine Corps, enjoyed a career of public service in the federal government, and became the owner and CEO of Self-Development Success for the past 15 years, speaking, presenting, and authoring 4 self-help books. Just one call brings the cavalry, and it's a sure bet if you do nothing, nothing is what you get. So let me help you get out of your own way. 443-602-6194.
The information that you shared was fantastic. I really hope that everyone is taking notes and, making, I took some notes about leveraging people and their time and how many people I know. I know I have, between just LinkedIn and Facebook, just 10,000 contacts. 10,000 contacts. And so, I use them to highlight the National Black Unity News all the time. I send individual people, business owners that I know that I can hit, that I message. You should put an ad in the National Black Unity News, because it's going to hit 250,000 people. You want people to know you. You want them to know where you are and what you do. Well, this is a really economical way for you to do that, and then have it, exposed for an extended period of time for the same amount of money. So that's really good. And then I do ask people, share it out. When I send them messages, I just say, have you checked out www.tnbun.com? Because if you haven't, you're missing something special. And I just share it out. Because it makes people nosy, and they want to go, well, what is this? And they look. And when they look, that's a check mark. That's a feather in the cap for us. And I've also made it a habit to send that message right there. Have you checked out www.tnbun.com? Because if you haven't, you're missing something special. And I don't send it to people in Baltimore. I send it to people in Chicago. I send it to people in New York. I send it to people in LA. I send it to people in San Antonio. I send it to people in Dallas. I send it to people everywhere except here. Because we already are here. We already know what's up here. They need to know about us everywhere else. And so that's what I do. I send it out like that. And again, word of mouth is also just what Jay said. Word of mouth is like gold. It's like gold. And I was just at Nyla's the other day with another friend of mine, and he said, so what's up? What are you doing these days? And I said, I'm writing for the National Black Unity News. You haven't heard? And, he was like, you have a paper? And I went right to my car and got a paper. That's the other thing. You have to put papers in your car. You have to put papers in wherever you can get to them. Put a paper, because people, when you start talking about it, people are going to ask you about it. And when they ask you about it, whip one out and put it in their face. Here, this is it. Make it real and personal. They got to get up close and personal to it. And when you whip that paper out and you put it in their hand, I go to my page. Yeah, check out page 9. You'll find something special on page 9. And they open up page 9, it's me. Okay. But, they're looking like, oh, yeah, because it validates what I just told them. I'm writing for this paper, So, Jay, every single thing that you said was absolutely on point. And it's validation and confirmation for me that I'm headed in the right direction. So thank you very much for that. And I just know that if I have any other questions about what to do, when to do, or how to do, I know I can reach out to you and David as well. But it is an amazing tool, but it's only going to be as amazing as we make it if we use it. If it's nothing if we don't use it. It's a good idea that's come and gone if we don't use it. We have to use it.
Okay, can I say a word or two?
Yes, you can.
Of course, a fearless leader.
Well, Jay, Fran, and everybody else on this call, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. But Jay, you hit it right on the point. From my perspective, it's confirmation. God looks at things. He already has the beginning and the end already in mind. We just in between, all of us. And what we make of that in between, that's what really counts for us. And in the beginning, when we was inspired to bring this publication out, it was something that I was accustomed to because I was prepared for it. I've been doing publications for many years. But this time around, I was not a solo act because I'm used to doing things by myself. But then I have a partner named Bill Gooden came aboard. And then people like Dr. Y.T., Mr. Walter Murphy, and a whole host of people came on board. But the foundation has been built. And now we working on the house now, and things are going swell because I'm saying this because for the first time in my life in doing business, I see activity. When I say activity, I'm talking about people like Jaye Walker, Fran Allen. If you sit from where I sit at, and from whence I came from, I used to look up at people like yourselves. I mean, they got educated folks, man. They dot their I's, they cross their T's, and I was rough around the edges. And here I'm now sitting in the midst of all of this greatness and wonderful people now, with all sorts of background and expertise in so many different fields. And that's a blessing within itself, because God put an army around us, and what Jay was saying is this. I want y'all to understand this is this. It's not the beginning. Like you say, Jay already said it's the end. Keep the end in mind. Because it's going to be in a very short point. This campaign 2020 that's right at our doorsteps is going to change a lot of lives. A lot of businesses going to be blessed. People, it's going to be astronomical. But to those who will be watching this podcast, it's not that I'm urging you or rushing you, but in a publication, you had never seen a newspaper with hundreds of pages in it. Neither will the National Black Unity News. We're going to have to cut it off at some point. And so those of you who have a business or a service that can enhance our people's quality of life, then you need to get on board now while the door is still open. Because as Jay was just saying, nowhere can you find such an opportunity like this. This is about you, but this is a collaboration of like-minded people from all different backgrounds that come together. What a powerful force that is. Powerful. And like I say, the seeds that we are planting right now, from my perspective, it's harvest time. The seeds have been planted. And now we have to carry it out into the world. We have to share our fruits with people. And that's why I say we do by any means necessary. You email, you do whatever you have to do. But one of the most important things that you can do from the beginning, God spoke. That's all you have to do is just speak. One-on-one. Do you know the power of one? The power of one. I mentioned the last time we was on this broadcast. If you compound a penny daily for 30 days, it's over $5 million. It's $5 million. I mean, and so each person begat one person. This person tells somebody else. And Jay was mentioning how powerful that is. If we had 100 businesses in each state, then they start telling people. And before this year is out, I mean, it's going to be astronomical. And so, again, I appreciate everybody who's on this call because we're going places. And I just want to share before I, pass it on to everybody else. Ideas are flowing. We got Dr. Charles Penn on there. We had a call last week, and they're going to be reaching out to mass amount of churches because that's our beginning. Everything started in just from the black community in this country. And so they're going to start a campaign that reaching out to masses of churches all across this country. And, every church got a congregation. And that's another door that's going to open up to us. And then by the other means, like I say, social media, we're going to be blasting that as well. One-on-ones, and I'm constantly talking to people, so people have a great interest in what we're doing. And so to those who will be watching this broadcast, this podcast, you need to get on board. Do not procrastinate. Because this ship is sailing. It's already at sail, and we ain't going to slow it down for nobody. So you either get on, and for those of you who are already on board, you need to take advantage of this because there's a host of people who would love to be in your position. And just begin. Just like I say, a lot of things start with small beginnings. But like I said, not to the swift, but those who endure. And most of us have. And so, but it will take more than that. Just endure. We have to put in a little bit of work, And if we put in the work, the rewards will come. But they say the bottom line is, in this country, we are, I'm hearing feedback, but that's okay. In this country alone, we have so much power. And with this power, we can build better communities, we can build better families, we can build futures for our children and our children's children. We can do so much more. But again, I thank everybody on this call. Get on board because we have a lot of tools in place. It's like a table. Like I said, if everybody brings something to the table, everybody can feast upon it. With that being said, Fran, back to you.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you. Look, everybody, this is going to be our final Tuesday evening conference call for 2019. The calls will resume next year on January 7th. That is the first Tuesday of 2020. Same time, same place, same number. And I just want to remind everyone that we're trying to make these calls as valuable as we can to every participating member of the National Black Unity News, whether you're an editor, whether you're an administrative person, whether you're a contributing writer, it doesn't really matter. If you're participating in the National Black Unity News, we should all be on these calls on Tuesday to learn something new and different about this tool that we have so we can make it really go to work and work well for us and for each other. If you have a topic that you want to see addressed, please email it to me at selfdevelopment.success@gmail.com. That's selfdevelopment.success@gmail.com, and put TNBUN topic in the subject line. I get a lot of email, so I can search for TNBUN topic and I can find everybody easily and find a speaker to address your topic. Lastly, I want everyone to remember that this paper is for us, by us, and about us. It's for us, by us, and about us. And this is our opportunity to create our own narrative, tell our own story, and showcase our own efforts. That is so important. that is so important. We don't need mainstream media twisting our stuff up so that we don't even recognize it. We need to be in charge of the story that is all about us. And this tool, the National Black Unity News, gives us the opportunity to do just that. We're not trying to be, we're not hoping to be, we are the #1 black periodical in this country already. We're already the #1 black periodical. That's not an accident. That is not an accident. There's a critical need for this communication all across the nation and all around the world. And we have to be about the business of helping each other help ourselves. Okay? Because those other people that don't look like us aren't really going to do anything to help us. If they were, we would not be in the position that we are in.
Yep.
That's just straight. That's just real talk. So at the end of the day, I'm humbled to be a part of the National Black Unity News with all of you. And as I close, our leader often questions us, if not now, then when? And if not who, then if not us, then who? So I challenge all of us to step up and change the game, because we can. We can. It's not hard. Jay said this is a product that sells itself. All you have to do is share the information. And as soon as people hear the information, you're like, wow, how do I get in on that? And that's your opportunity to get a full-page ad, half-page ad, a business directory listing, or sell them some space on your page so you can make $2. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But you got to do it. It's action-oriented. It's not going to happen because you're thinking about it. It's going to happen because you're doing something about it. So let's go to work, everybody. Lastly, until next time, remember this. Mediocrity is not an option. Mediocrity is not an option. Excellence is our goal.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
The National Black Unity News is all about promoting unity in the Black community. This national resource creates opportunity for Black community, business, and social connections. Learn more every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. by calling in and listening. If not us, then who? And if not now, then when?